What I'm gonna do is, this is my phone, so the sound should be okay. I'm gonna just use this. This is Alcoholics Anonymous, a blue book. Okay, now it's just like with anything. People are gonna have good experience or bad experience with something. But what we can do is we can give you a definite answer that what you've been given in your entire existence on this earth will not allow you to see this book for what it is. This is actually a key. Okay? This is a key. And this key is only to a select few. And there's several other keys, but this is one of the main ones that's going to unlock certain beings here, which is us, in these human cavities. All right, now you're going to have to allow me to explain a few things. I didn't plan this, but it hit me like really hard. Okay, the reason that this is a key, real quick. Some of us that have been hit in the head really hard with addiction or alcoholism, pills or whatever. Okay, what we've done is we've crossed a certain barrier. And so what we have is we have and if we're still alive, we've destroyed the brain. We have literally crippled the brain. Okay, what I mean by that is broken. It's broken from a system that has been programmed into their brain from the beginning through images, through black magic that nobody knows about. Okay? That's why nobody gets it. Even the ones that get some of it, they just stay in the rooms. Or they'll just, say they live a good life. But I can tell you this, they've absorbed something else as much as they absorbed whatever it is that alcohol or whatever. That's not what this is for. This isn't for just to get sober. That's not what this is for. The blue stands for the first 3 degrees of the Blue Lodge Freemasonry. The blue color stands for Saturn. Okay, it stands for Saturn. Now, hang on just a second. Now, if you're in AA, do not get mad because this is good. I think that's my 9-year. See, here's a book called the Fraternitas Saturni. That's the Saturn symbol right there. So what that means is this. It means that this, if you allow it, is Saturnian energy. Now let me explain what that is. It's very powerful. Okay, something you don't know about, Saturn is the big boy, and he represents blue and black. Okay, and there's things that you don't know that we don't need to get into, but you do need to understand something. Okay, even in this book right here, see, everything's being released right now. All knowledge is being released because it's got to go. Everything's got to go that was being held secret forever. And in here, it even says that everything gets their rights from Saturn, from the brothers of the Saturnian order. The grades in here, the outer court grades, which is going to represent your 12 grades in school. They're the dues paying members in the Society of Saturn Worship. This is 12 steps, 12 grades. The 12 steps are 12 grades. You understand? The first step's all about admitting you're powerless. Okay? So what that means is that what you're admitting is that your brain is crippled. All right? You've got to look at this without what they're telling you on the surface. All right? Now you're ready. Something in you broke you. You're still alive. Their system didn't kill you. You're not dead. You understand? So you're broken and you're ready to listen and fucking read anything. And that's the thing is these people don't understand that they're in a program and they can't get out of it because that's all they've ever known is the images. That's black magic. Okay? But the thing about the secret societies that we're given in a rough way, okay, this has got more power than all secret societies combined. Like the first step is powerless over alcohol, cerebrum. You've got to admit it and see with the cell salts, the first cell salt is caliphos. That has to do with the cerebrum. And one reason that the brain is collapsed is because it's never had the material that it's made of. And see, the salts is the main thing to know. But it takes years to learn that. Trust me, it took me forever to start learning about the systems of the anatomy. Because see, you got 12 systems of the anatomy. And I'd like to put together the 12 systems of the anatomy, the 12 steps, the 12 salts, the 12 everything. And see, once you start learning all that, that's what you're supposed to know. But this is a key. Okay? And the key is, everybody's got a key in their pocket within this program, any program. But it's a deeper meaning because they know that in this system that they've created through black magic possessions and addictions, that some of us that have the Saturnian energy, the true energy, are going to fight through it. And one of the ways that it's going to be opened is through shit that's in the wide open. Because, believe it or not, some of us are put on this earth to die early. Some of us are put on this earth to go through this life and struggle in certain ways. We question our journey, but we don't need to. We've been guided our entire existence. So this is not just about recovering from just, that's the trick. It's to keep you in a chair and to keep you compliant and to keep you obedient. Because see, let's just say around here, or around where you're at, the first things to pop up is going to be lodges, churches, towns to where the brands can come in. And then there's going to be a little secret little club. But the brands have to analyze the community and see who's smart enough for the bloodline to grow into the brands to where the community goes, God, I wish I was their daddy that had that Coke plant over there and that soda company. And that's how real slave owners get in there and create real fucking generational slavery to where you grow into it. And then in the meantime of creating the materialism, which is possessions, it's already money. So in the process of doing that right there, you're creating these sub-societies. We'll say Scottish Rite, shit like that, which is intertwined. It's real Rosicrucianism is gone. Real Christianity is gone. Real initiation, cool shit is gone. It's gone. And that's what this is. But you're going to have certain brands, they're going to put up golf courses and shit, so that they can feed into the thing. And they're going to give money to certain, the ones that are analyzed to be put in position so they can make a ton of money down the road, and then the next generation to come. It's insane how it's what it is. But this is a key. Many people in them rooms have a key, but they don't know how to unlock this for what it is. And the fourth step is to do a thorough inventory. And that's truthfully the biggest thing that unlocked everything for me. Once I was taught how to do an inventory of myself and my past and my experiences, because see, your experience, what you go through, is going to be your key out of it. And what's in you is fighting like hell to get the fuck out of it. But let me tell you something. You're going to have to, what's in you has more power than you can imagine. It has so much power that you don't need anybody around you eventually. You won't even think about them because they're not real in here. All right, look. This is what's going to help you. All right, every split second, my optic nerve, All right. Do you see all these pieces of paper? If I hold up one sheet of paper and like that picture of my kitchen in here, my brain is registering that piece. And then in another split second, if I turn my eyes, it's another piece of paper. So eventually, in 100 seconds, there's going to be 100 pieces of paper stacked up more of images that my optic nerve has programmed my brain to have. So each day, this is what we try to tell people. That's the mind control. If you could understand, you've seen go here to get better forever and go here and why can't I be just normal and all that shit. It's mind control. You're not supposed to see that shit. The billboards, ever since you've been a child. If I could go into your brain, I could fucking literally fill up at least 10 billion pieces of paper that your optic nerve has programmed your brain with. So if you can get that through your thick fucking head on do not go the path that they tell you, you'll be better. But if you're watching this video, then that means you've went through some heavy shit. At least you've got to be. Or your little bit that you've done, you just fucking feel so which is good. But some of us, we literally went through hell. But the key, and see, they control that. They allow these brands to grow in. These people grow in and retire from these companies, and they control it from day one. And they're all meant to be controlled. Every secret society has been controlled. Before it popped up, it was already, somebody said, hey, we're going to do this to control. It's fucking easy once you can truly see it for what it is. But the key is your past. You're an initiate. This is not about being powerless over alcohol. You need to understand something. This has to do with the unseen. Okay, you have demons in you. All right, black magic is real. We're ingrained with it from day one. We can prove it by the numbers. By the numbers. So once you start to understand that the pull that you have, it's a being in you. Different ones to lure you and to get into your brain and to justify things and to create confusion and all this other shit when it never has healed. Once you stop a substance, then the industry tries to shove them down your throat. And the brain, it's not... If you chop up what they give in these facilities, the behind the scenes, not in the rooms, but like in the ERs and shit, and the detoxes, when you go home or when you go to the therapist, what they give you, if you grind those up and put them in water and feed them to plants, they fucking die. So that's the biggest obstacle of admitting powerless. To say, I'm so fucking powerless that I've had so many impressions on my brain, stacks of fucking warehouses of paper, billions of them, saying, I trust this, come over here. See, I'm to the point where I don't see none of the fucking images anymore, not unless I want to. I'm beyond that. I see what nature is out there. I've pierced the veil of the materialism, which the black magic is the images, it's the pictures. That's what it is. It's what the child, when it leaves the hospital, it's driving on the way home, and if its eyes are open, by the time it's home, you know how many fucking images of garbage it's already got? And that's the thing is when we understand that we've been in printing, like a printing press, think about it printing the same thing over. That's your brain every day, that we're in that fucking shit, that demon of Al-Cool. So until we go to the machine, which is us, and recalibrate it, which is the fucking brain, because machine comes from us. Every piece, anything that's invented comes from us. So you've got to fucking change something on the machine, which is you. And that's going to be your thinking. The only way to do that is cut all the AI shit and create something, within nature with getting out and staying the fucking busy. I don't care. It's like me. I would carry shit back and forth just to wear my shit out in the beginning, working out. But I told my family and everybody around me, I said, leave me the fuck alone. If you've got somewhere to work and all that, and you need to be, because people don't understand years of just destroying the brain. And I never agreed with what they give out, ever. It's black magic. And then we got there and got to the magazines and found out that they're the fucking warlocks of the world that control them. Because, representing cannabis and all this shit, blasting it. Because, boy, when I was in, and it takes me about a year, but even though I'm 48, I have the structure and the discipline from my past. If I had, a huge whatever, I don't want the falling. It's not about that. But if I had backers, in a year I can get back to that because my anatomy's been there. The hard work's been there. But it's finding that routine. The machine, the printing press, we're imprinting into our brain a new existence. We've admitted the powerlessness and the fucking torture and shit. And now it's getting cleared out. And now we've got to start forcing the water in. It's what you're made of. The brain is fucking made of water. It has more fluids in it than anything. So it needs water. It needs fucking fruits and vegetables and shit. And that's why everybody hates me. Because even on holidays, it's like I find a gym that's open. When they're eating their shit, I'm in there eating my shit. And everybody and that's why everybody just left. Because there's this fucking, it's a caste. It's a black magic caste. Each family unit represents a caste. And if you go against eating out all fucking time, doing nothing with your life, then you're an outcast. It's that easy. So they created generational slavery, which is commerce, which each cell represents millions of dollars to a corporation. Commerce, birth certificate. We ain't going to get into all that. But I had a guy, and I didn't do the steps just great, but I read it and applied it. In the beginning, it wasn't easy, but it was the beginning of me reprogramming and rebooting this machine in me. And it's not me. Listen, when I say Saturnian energy, most of y'all will say, what? Listen, the same power that the roots, everything out there in nature is a battery. You're a battery. Okay, so if you go feed all that shit, what everybody eats in society, it'll all fucking die. So that's what they're doing, just slowly. And they can't fucking see that they're doing it to themselves. They don't catch nothing. Fucking crazy. You can go clean terminals on a battery with a soda. But yet they can drink that and their anatomy never shuts down. There's no consequences. None. Well, that's why we're fuck-ups. Because we have consequences. Do you see? You're fortunate. The spirit in you and your soul. See, your soul, it's not just about the brain. It's about developing faculties that you've never had, especially through nature and through animals and, herbs, smoothies, eating raw fruit foods. And I'm not saying go fucking crazy vegan and shit. I'm saying it just takes a little bit. Because the same with a NASCAR, you can't go take a NASCAR in society and just pull up and put gas in it, take it to the oil change. It'll fuck it all up. Well, okay. So we go over here to this fast food and get filled up. And then we go to that one later on and get filled up. Well, the same law applies. The exact same. And they don't have to look at themselves because they're this little being of Ahriman that justifies everything like we did. See, they can eat all that and just say, here's pills here. And they just eat and go, there ain't nothing wrong with us. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with us. Black magic. So at the end of the day, you're coming out of black magic, generational. And the pull in you will be, let me tell you something. We can prove everything is a fucking lie. The whole thing. But these people, they're not real. Their impulses that they've ever had is no different than the same impulse that we had through drinking. It was recommended to me to stop. I never have been on computers though, so that's something that I've never had those impressions. like over and over. I hate even fucking getting on there and doing credit shit and what credit card stuff and having to do stuff. But the system that they've created is meant to force you into materialism, your spirit and your soul. And seeing all those emotions that we get through AI when we die, the same law applies to our death. We don't die, we just transfer. Our subconscious transfers to the other side. Same way when that phone dies, you can go get another one and just transfer it from there to there. The Bluetooth and the connection is the same connection that we have to our soul. You can't see that. And when we go to the other side, our subconscious, everything in us, our emotions, everything that we have gave the world, all those emotions, feelings, wants, desires, fears, and all that shit, it ascends. And if you believe in God, that's where it goes. And then it gets evaluated. It's given right back to us after we've seen a panoramic view of our entire existence. And then what we get to do is this. As long as you've been asleep in this world, you go back through your life. So if you add up all the time you've been asleep, you go back through your life after it's been evaluated. And then you get to see the forces that you spent giving it to the world. See, that's the thing is alcohol is created like what we have now, not like what we used to. So when the alcoholics die, those forces goes with them. It doesn't go away. It goes with us. That's why it's very important to control these forces. If you're in masonry, they'll say raise the goat. That means cut your passions. But, you know, in the initiation, in the old mysteries and shit, I mean, you know, you won't get real with it. Some of these motherfuckers went in the caves and shit and stayed to block. You don't understand, and I ain't saying do that. I'm just saying when you get into real shit, real spirit and real soul, and you start to pull out of all of it, then you'll see it for what it is. But it takes a long time because of the faculties. But see, do you understand how it's no different when you study and you find out things are lies. And then you go try to talk to somebody and they just go, hey, go. See, it's right there. And then they go run over and fuck the city that they live in. Go blow all their money and then go get up the next day and do it again. We spend a shit ton of money drinking, just getting it. Fuck. You know how much it is to go eat in the morning at a drive-thru and then go back to the drive-thru at noon and then go out to eat that night? You know, we'll say 5 or 6 days a week. Hell, with children too, most of the time. What the fuck? When you start learning about what you're made of, and you start learning these fruits and vegetables and stuff, and quinoa seeds and different things, then you eat. That's what you're made of. It will absorb into you, and you will fucking think better. You will be so much better. It's beyond ridiculous to say, all right, so this individual has had 30 years of addiction. Well, now they want to get better. All right, we're going to put 12 of these hills in their anatomy every day. Yeah, to make them better. It's like, no, what? What the fuck? Go break it down. You take that shit. You know, because I had several of them tell me, you'll never make it without these. And I said, then I'd rather die. Because that's not what it's insane. Here, you take this. Well, you might feel like harming, you know, for a couple months. But, man, if you fight through it, then, you know, we'll change it. And you might feel like that for 6 months. I mean, you know, it's good for you. And then say, there's no spirit in that industry except for Ahriman and Satan. There's no spirit. There's no time. People they've created this, I want an instant fix. Fix me. You're not a vehicle. You are, but, you know, certain leaves, certain roots, certain herbs, certain fruits, certain vegetables, certain things are going to, they're going to go into different systems of the anatomy and build different corpuscles, different ganglia, tissues, you know, the arachnoid matter, the pia matter, the spinal cord, the oil and the cerebrum, the cerebellum, thick and thin oil, the claustrum, the cloister, the secretion in there that's vibrating on another level. And it comes out of the brain and differentiates into the pineal and the pituitary into a yellow and a white-like substance. One has a positive and a negative current, and those cross at the base. And when you don't have none of that fluid in there, especially from drinking dehydrated, then you're not going to think, you're not going to do shit. That's why everybody in society won't listen, because they're fluid. Anything in their brain is loose. They've got a wet brain. The brain weighs, 4 pounds or some shit out of the fluid of the brain. If you take the brain out of the skull, it's 4 pounds. I can't remember exactly if it's 4 or something. But in the fluid, it's 4 ounces or some shit. So when the brain is heavy from drinking, it squishes certain blood vessels and causes blackouts and all that shit. See, they don't teach you this. So in society, when you eat shit, it causes heavy brain. And then you tie in what they take for their illnesses, and then all that shit running through there, it's floating in literally dirty fucking urine fluid, and they're just sitting there like, yes, it's just like in the rooms. And even though they're off of whatever it was, they're sitting there like this. It's because it's dull, it's heavy. And our job is to make that fluid run and make it more solid as to what we put in us, because it's connected to that up there. And see, these people, the fluid in there, it's all corrupt, and so it's connected to the cell towers, not just admitting to these devices. The cell towers are generating into the cells of the brains of all these fucking dumbasses, these little Ahrimanic dumb shits. That's what they are. They're fucking ignorant, stupid people. And I love them, but they're ignorant. So every one of them, all their existence is connected to AI. That's what I'm saying. You're very lucky. They're not real. If you take down the billboards and all of the fucking AI, they will go crazy. And the sad thing is see, nobody has spirit. They stopped teaching spirit and soul a long time ago. So the first thing they do, if we're going to build and create gadgets and all this shit, we're going to go in and destroy forest, which is spirit. There's unseen spirit on the other side, so they're pushing spirit back and then creating these gadgets. The same material that it took to make these gadgets is what you're made of. So what we do is these gadgets are a medium for these black magic magicians to channel into us. So this opens the portal for Ahriman. Ahriman represents luring you and connecting you and justifying shit. So what we do is instead of our emotions, like I said earlier, forces go with you. Our emotions comes from this shit. Look at all what's in here. Look at all these games. Oh yeah, I'm dead. Forces go with you. And see, you enjoyed an imitation of the elements and not the elements themselves. Because what's underneath us is who we are. And that's a whole nother fucking thing, and I can't get into it. Because I'm hungry and I hadn't ate today, and here lately it's just fucking flying through me. I can't, and it's on a real note that nobody really knows. They know it's fucking weighing on me. And see, nobody can understand it. What's going on with me? They think you got to look for the definition in a book, and it's like, what's going on with me is right there. Nobody will fucking, it's just, their faculties are not there. When you do an inventory of how much TV you've watched, there's your answer. That's the whole thing. Go outside and look up, your neck will hurt. That's what I'm saying. We're the only species to look up. And now AI has made you turn your back on this realm and not see it for what it is. So you come through this life, never have anything real in your head, and then go to the other side. And truthfully, the average child now, by the time they're 20, they've got 20,000 hours of Disney, 10,000 hours of gaming on their phones, whether it's Tetris, whatever it is. So there's 30,000 hours. So you're going to tell me in this nation that 30,000 hours of that fucking garbage, now they're going to go to this structure and get a piece of paper that says, oh, look at me, I'm an expert. And it's like, no, you're a product. We can give that to you. You're just a little Arimonic little being running around uploaded with fucking 30,000 hours of black magic, and you are just so high and mighty until this fuck up Goy from the hospital bed with his Saturnian energy did some fucking, what is that, deja vu? Is that what Denzel, whenever the spirit's floating around and going into somebody? But here's the thing is we can get into some shit like that. Look, the reason that all these books are out, like I said earlier, is because the knowledge, everything's got to go. It's been controlled to the point to where they don't need us anymore. And truthfully, this is just like this pulls the valedictorians out of the world. This does. This key right here. I can do some more videos about experience, because your experience is what's going to do it. If you ain't never had no experience, no fucking trials and tribulations, if you've been in trouble, that's the best thing on our resume. Being in trouble is the number one. Look, it's bigger than winning the fucking lottery. All of them at once in the world. Trust me. Especially going to the other side. You want that. And the people will say, he's fucking crazy. It's like you are an AI impulse. You're just an AI black magic little demon. That's it. You don't even have real emotions. They're all movies. So when you cry, it's just how a black magic magician trained you. And then you grow into that fucking nasty ass fake adulthood. And you're never an adult. You're just always a child. You're always a little Arimonic child. Because, look, right quick, we won't go over all the steps. And it says in 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood it. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives. All right, but the will, you don't understand. The will and character of a child is developed into cartoons. That's what I'm saying. So that's a very strong word. And until we can see that word for what it is, you don't understand what we mean by character and the will. When they say out of character, think about that. Yeah, they've been acting out of character lately. That's what the industry will say too. Yeah, we need to go tell them they need to be on pills. They've been acting a little out of character. It's like, okay, so they're a character. Do you not see the black magic there? The character is who they've been programmed to be. So now they're outside of the character that they display, but they've been programmed to do what they do through the 30,000+ hours of fucking garbage doo-doo black magic. It's that easy. I swear to God, I'm getting on my own nerves with seeing the shit. And I think they love it too. Because you need to stargaze, you got to look. You got the same way the TV penetrates the optic nerve, so does those orbs up there. And I've already learned the circuit. There you go. It's the circuit up there. They're on circuits. You go to circuit court because you're charged. Those are on circuits because they're charging everything down here. Yeah. It's that fucking easy. It's beyond easy. It's not even easy. It's common fucking sense. But the thing is this. The pictures and the billboards is what fucking sells the black magic. It crushes the optic nerve. And so the will and character of whoever they're raising with the surroundings, the only thing they're allowed to hear the next generation is going to be worse, because the will is ingrained into the blood. And the character and the obedience and the compliance, and they will not come out of it. So if you've been watching this long, that means you got it in you. You got it in you. And this fucking path that this journey I've been on, shit. Whew. I can tell you this. I said this in another video. We're born with a spirit, or you're born to develop a soul and a spirit. All right. And everything that we have is not real. And what's going on with me, it's a little bigger than a soul and a spirit. And I can't talk about it because it has to do with some heavy shit that nobody knows about. It has to do with numbers. It has to do with the zodiac, and it has to do with alignments, and it has to do with especially Saturn, and it has to do with cubes. Yes, just Google cube shit. That's Saturn. There's cubes in New York, Vatican, and shit. Gleaming the Cube when I was growing up. That fucking movie, Hellraiser, there's a cube. Nintendo Cube, it's Saturn. Islam, all that shit, the cube in Mecca, that's Saturn. It's Saturn, 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 Saturn. And I have that. Like, I need to speak about some of these visions, though. What I've been getting, but I'm not going to do that right now. That's what I'm saying. You give it long enough and you'll get it. The same way the TV tells them dummies to go buy that food and to give them dreams at night and go, oh, I was dreaming about that on TV, is the same way that, because once you figure out them lights up there in the magnetic field, and like I've got ducks and different shit, they've got feathers, so they have different colors, and I've observed them through, seasons, frothing, whatever the duck does, and they lose theirs, but they come back in, the blackbirds, robins, woodpeckers, blue, redbirds, whatever. You'll start to understand that those colors that's on all those will unlock the faculties in your brain. And the whole reason AI is invented is to give you fake colors. So the fluids in your brain will be programmed with them. That's what causes children to choke animals. It's all those cartoons in there. It's those stacks of pages. It's a fucking billion stacks by the time they're 5. There's a dog. Hey! Blue's Clues did it, which is Saturn. Blue's Clues, blue, Saturn. Thomas the Train, that's the sun worship. It's all it is. And the black magic magicians write it out. I got to get something to eat. I love you.